Yo, welcome to the Minecraft Bedrock Edition version 1.20.50.22. Guess what? In this version, we have the introduction of the Minecraft 1.21 features, such as the Grate block, but also they introduced the brand new Tuff family blocks. Before we get into this though, those testing it out, there is a known issue for the experimental blocks. It does say waxed copper grate can be crafted on the crafting table with honeycomb, but crafting it directly from waxed copper blocks isn't working for the crafting table or stone cutter. Chiseled copper can't be crafted via the crafting table. Waxed chiseled copper can be crafted on the crafting table with honeycomb, but crafting it directly from waxed copper blocks isn't working for the crafting table or stone cutter. Plus, Tuff blocks can't be crafted via the crafting table, but can be via the stone cutter. Starting with the experimental features, copper block family. The copper block family has been expanded, including chiseled copper, copper grate, copper bulb, copper door, copper trapdoor, oxidized and waxed variants of them all. So I've had to put these inside of chests because every time I place them, the weather makes them weathered. But this is the chiseled copper. We have the exposed chiseled copper, the weathered variation, oxidized, wax chiseled copper, the waxed exposed version, waxed oxidized, and the waxed weathered chiseled copper. And they look pretty cool. So a brand new chiseled variation has been introduced. Let me show you what they look like in the floor. I think people who like to do steampunk kind of builds are gonna really enjoy these ones. Let me know in the comments section which your favorite chiseled variation is. They look so cool. Moving on to the newly introduced copper door. I've had a lot of questions about these. They come in all different variations, such as the weathered versions and the oxidized. A lot of people had some questions during my live stream, and that was, hey Echo, do they require redstone? The answer is no. You can open this in regular survival. They're not the same as your iron doors. I really like the design of these. This is either like a handle or some kind of lock, but yes, as well as the chiseled variation, you've got doors. This also applies for the trapdoors as well. Here's what they look like. Now, crafting these can be quite expensive, but don't worry, I will show you how to craft them all. And here's a couple of sounds. So I thought in order to craft these, you're going to have to use ingots like this to make yourself a trap door, or like this to make a regular door. No, it is in fact done with copper blocks. It does not matter the variant. So for example, this is how you make the copper door. It produces 3 at a time. However, the trap door requires 6 copper blocks for 2 copper trap doors. Now, I know copper is incredibly common, but boy, that is a very, very expensive recipe. I'd love to know your opinions about this. As I mentioned at the start of the video, the copper grate has been introduced. There's a few things to know about this, so I put them on a book. First thing is, crafted with 4 copper blocks of a shared oxidation level. Can be crafted in the stone cutter. Properties: transparent and allows light to pass through. Mobs cannot suffocate inside of them. Cannot conduct redstone. Hostile mobs cannot naturally spawn on them. Just like the other blocks, they come in 8 separate variations. The copper grate, exposed, weathered, oxidized, waxed, wax exposed, wax weathered, and of course the oxidized again. Now, like I said, the really cool thing about this is that, number one, they are transparent. So you could definitely use this as some kind of window. Again, steampunk, old-fashioned styled. But mobs cannot spawn on these. So a double cool factor here. is if you were to build a mob farm out of these, or if you just didn't want things to spawn in general, well, as you guys know, no mob is going to spawn on top of these. Now, something else you guys are going to ask me is, can you waterlog these? The answer is no. I tried this during my live stream for the Java version, and it does not work on Bedrock as well. So I thought it'd be a cool addition if you could, but it turns out you cannot. The recipe for this is incredibly simple. Grab yourself any kind of the copper variations and place them in like a star shape like this, and you get 4. Now remember, some of these are not going to work for you because they are slightly bugged, as mentioned at the start of the video. Moving on to the copper bulb. Again, a lot of information about this one. It says, a light emitting block that can toggle its light emission through redstone pulses, oxidizes like other copper blocks, and emits less light the more oxidized they are. Copper bulb light level is 15. Exposed copper bulb light level is 12. The weathered will be light level 8, and the oxidized will be light level 4. Also, when placed, its light is off by default. While the copper bulb is unpowered, it will toggle its light on or off when it receives a redstone pulse. Comparators will read a signal strength of 15 if the copper bulb's light is on. Does not conduct redstone power. Okay, let's check these out. Now, again, these are definitely going to be a fan favorite. And these are all the designs, being the regular copper bulb, exposed, weathered, oxidized, waxed, exposed, waxed, weathered, and of course the oxidized version. Now, as we did say, you can turn these on or off. So if I do /time set and we set this to midnight right here, yes, I love Minecraft bugs. That bug happens when you have shaders on. Anyway, if we place buttons on all of these, keep an eye on this right here in the middle of all of these. Now, as you guys know, usually when you toggle something on with a button, it's on for a small amount of time and then goes off. In fact, the perfect example here would be a redstone light, for example. Place this down, we hit this, it goes on. Once it retracts, it goes off. No, these work the opposite way. So if you hit this, it toggles on and it stays on. And it stays on until you decide to turn it off. And I absolutely love this. Now, again, they have different variations of lights. The regular one that hasn't been damaged by weather is incredibly bright. But something else to be noted, just like other copper-related blocks, you can deoxidize these. And as you do this, they get so much brighter. This is an incredible introduction to the game. And then you could just go ahead and turn them off. They do work perfectly with comparators as well. So if we place down some comparators here, we have a redstone lamp right there. We get ourselves a button and we hit this. As you can see, it powers it up. Again, an incredible feature that has been introduced to the game. In order to manually craft these, here is the recipe. Again, it does not matter which variation of copper blocks you use. I'll show you both of these. But it does require a blaze rod. So you got to put it like this, like a star at the top, like an arrow. And then that goes at the bottom and you get 4. And then it's the same with whatever variation you are using. If you just grab yourself some copper blocks, head into the stone cutter, you can see the new variations there. But I think they said some things are a little bit broken. The other set of blocks introduced is Tuff block family. Tuff has been expanded to have its own family of blocks, including, so as you guys know, we've already got the Tuff, the stairs, the slabs, and the walls. Well, now we have chiseled Tuff. We have the chiseled Tuff bricks, which has a really cool top, by the way. We have the polished Tuff stairs, polished Tuff slab. We now have the walls. We have Tuff bricks. Same with the stair variation, the slab variation, and of course, the wall variation. Get yourself a set of 64 Tuff, open up a stone cutter, put this inside, and voila, you can see all the available designs. Honestly, this is incredible. But if I had one thing I would like to say to the Minecraft developers is please give us a calcite variation. Nonetheless, this is still cool. Let's check it out in the floor. Starting with the chiseled Tuff variation, I think a lot of people are going to enjoy this block. And then we have what I'm going to say is my favorite one, the chiseled Tuff bricks. These are also incredibly popular with the community. We have the polished versions. I'm a sucker for the polished variations. And then we also have the brick variation as well. A lot of people said they get Super Mario feels from this. Moving on to features and bug fixes, it does say another known issue in this update is creative flight speed is greatly reduced after touching the ground. Moving on to the bat. The bat now has a new look, thanks to an updated model, animations, and textures. This is your new bat design. Now, they haven't really changed what it can do. It's still incredibly derpy, but the texture, the look, and the model has been updated. I would love to know your opinion on this one. So let's get ourselves a bat and place down a couple of these. I can't place down mobs with no AI like I can on Java Edition. But yeah, again, it's been 11 years since the bat was last changed. Fixes with blocks. A sticky piston pulling a retracting sticky piston that is pulling a player and another block no longer crashes the game. Tourist flowers can now be destroyed by any projectile, which will no longer disappear after impact. Decorated pots. The sounds emitted by decorated pots breaking have been made smashier. All right, let's grab myself some decorated pots here. I guess let's smash it, right? Apparently it's all smashier. I don't know. This seems really weird to me. Changes with gameplay fixed an issue where players couldn't block with a shield after releasing to use an item that had left their inventory. A few changes with mobs. The first one, leads will no longer break if a leashed mob is not in the same chunk as the leashed holder upon reloading a world. Mobs on fire no longer spread fire to their target when holding something in their main hand. It does say the calculations to determine whether a mob can attack a player or other mobs have been changed. Previously, a mob's horizontal width was used to determine their attack reach, and their height had no effect. The area where a mob can attack is now their bounding box extended in horizontal directions. Let's read the change log. The mobs affected by this change are Axolotl, Bee, Blaze, Cave Spider, Dolphin, Drowned, Enderman, Endermite, Fox, Hoglin, Husk, Iron Golem, Panda, Piglin, Piglin Brute, Pillager, Silverfish, Skeleton, Spider Stray, Vindicator, Warden, Wither Skeleton, Wolf, Zoglin, Zombie, Zombie Pigman, and Zombie Villager. It does say the new reach calculation is the attacking mob's bounding box extended by 0.8 blocks horizontally. If this extended box overlaps the target's bounding box, then the attack can reach. It does say this change does not affect the reach of players. Changes with touch controls fixed an issue where the player could enter touch control customization without having touch controls. User interface. The loading screen now displays 3 categories of player progression. Technical updates. Let's read the change log. So we have changes to cameras, add-on and scripts, API editor, and a bunch more. If you're interested in the technical side, the link is down below. If you made it this far in today's video, I want you guys to leave a comment down below and tell me what is your favorite block that you have seen in today's video. Doesn't necessarily have to be a Tuff block. It could be one of the bulbs, one of the grates, one of the doors, or even one of the chiseled variations. Anyway, you can test this for yourself in betas, previews, and snapshots. I'm the update guy. Have a wonderful day. Hey, you can now book me on Cameo. Link is down below.